and float. I don't know why that's your theme song nowadays.
Yeah. Welcome back, COD fans. Just one more weekend of matches before we ship up to Boston.
That's right, Puckett, and just a few more chances for squads to lock in their spot in the winner's bracket.
First up today, Rocker and Gorillas, both on the bubble. A win this week would be crucial heading into Major 1.
Then, Miami Heretics finally get a chance to face off against a Titan. Can the Spanish sensations break down the green wall, or will Optic Texas hold the line?
And it's the Championship Grand Finals rematch. Scrap and the Toronto Ultra out for revenge against the Subliners after a humiliating shutout on Call of Duty's biggest stage.
It all starts right now on the Call of Duty League.
Welcome in, all you ranked warriors.
Easy.
It's alongside Alley Cat and
Fuck you,
Nameless, and we are
Celium.
gearing up for the final day of qualifiers.
Let's go,
Final
Shotzi.
weekend of qualifiers, I should say, before we head over to Boston. 3 days of competition remain, and well, this weekend's going to be a big one because all of our top 4 are facing off as we get a chance to sort out our winners bracket heading into that first land. Welcome in, everybody. Puckett, Alley Cat, Nameless. Let's start with you, Alley Cat.
Alley Cat.
Game's been great. Unfortunately, my duo Hydra didn't join me this past weekend, but I guess he's busy scrimming.
Scrimming, busy Hydra. Nameless, I saw you were streaming, what, 9 hours? You were on Twitch, YouTube, all over the planet. How was the ranked play?
Dude, it was a blast. Absolute grind. You know, ranked finally came out, and we had to put in that work. Obviously, the delay wasn't that fun, but we got to learn the new meta, so it's going to be a lot of fun when we actually start playing on it.
Well, today we're looking at some old school gameplay. Let's take a look at the schedule. We are going to have 3 matches here on Friday, Super Saturday, and we'll close it out with 3 on Sunday. Looking at today, though, I see that Toronto Ultra versus Subliners matchup on Saturday. I want to see what's going on with the Heretics and LAG, and on Sunday, I'm looking at Optic and FaZe. Any other matches catching your eye here, Alex?
Maybe the Boston Breeze versus the New York Subliners. Again, Boston possibly trying to fight their way into their winners bracket of their own home major.
I like that call. Let's start here with the closing matchup. Optic versus FaZe as the final qualifier matchup is going to have huge implications on our seeding. Nameless, let's start here with Optic Texas because right now they're the underdog. They have 1 loss. It was a Game 5 round 11 to the Subliners, but that's their blemish on the record. What have you seen from the Green Wall?
I mean, they've been unbelievable. I mean, even in their last series, right, the resilience. They went down 0-2, and it was Kenny leading the lobby in damage at almost 16,000. He's been such a great pickup for these guys. Pred's starting to find his stride, and for this team in Hardpoint, haven't lost a beat. If you guys remember last year, they made that roster change and picked up Ghosty. That is when they started pummeling teams, winning all their Hardpoints, and so far in this game, it has been that. Top 3 in hold, breaking, and rotation, so that's something definitely for Optic fans to look out for. And, you know, for this Optic Texas team, even in Search and Destroy, they've been very good so far. In their first series, they lost 2 round 11s. After that, it's been pretty damn good picking up those first bloods. The conversion's been through the roof. So for Optic Texas, this is a roster that was built so they could win championships. For the better part of last year, they were beating Atlanta FaZe. So going into this one, they obviously want to get that W once again.
As we take a look at the leaderboard here, Allie, these are our top 10 KDs. Optic's got a few, FaZe has got a few. Thoughts on some of the names here?
Oh, I'm actually really surprised to see Pred and Dashy and not Kenny in this top 10, but no surprise in the top 2 being Celium and Simp. Atlanta FaZe have been unreal.
I love that. 2 from the Subliners, 2 from Toronto, 2 from FaZe. Let's go to the red team. Celium and Simp are on the leaderboard, but Abizi and Draza have been dropping numbers of their own. They're the #1 seed right now. They've had the most success in the qualifiers, something we've seen in the past. What are your thoughts right now on the level of Atlanta FaZe? Is this stronger than the team we saw last year, Allie?
Yes, I think it is. Simply because I think they're still just as consistent as they were last year. They're a lot stronger in hardpoint off the rip than they were last year. But also, also because some of the in-game changes. Atlanta FaZe was a team that struggled a little bit when it came to somebody directing in-game comms. Well, now they have Draza, and now we have covert sneakers and red dots on the mini-map, so they don't have to worry about it too much. So I think for Atlanta FaZe, it's not only going to be a team diff, but a game diff for them as well.
Nameless, that's a whole lot of third places. You got a second place there at Major 5, and of course you won Major 2 in Boston. What are the number expectations for this team this year?
I mean, same thing, top 3, right? Like, you expect them to be in that discussion and also to get championships. You know, they make a change in their roster, bringing in Draza, and they've only lost, you know, 1 map in each game mode. You know, they're 5-1, 4-1, 5-1, control hardpoint and S&D. This is a team that's extremely dangerous. I think Ali hit the nail on the head. The game changes coming into this one with the covert sneakers obviously allows the SMGs to make more plays and a thing like search and destroy. We've seen different strats coming out. A BZ goes down.
That's Sunday, by the way. Sunday.
Off of that, right? So the dynamic is totally different in search. So they remain strong there. And then in the respawn, you brought in Draza. We saw what he was able to do with the Thieves, right? He's bringing it to this squad. They look unreal.
I just want a BZ versus Shotzi with everyone wearing covert sneakers. I'll just watch that for about 5 hours. Let's take a look at another matchup that's going down this week. In fact, it's happening at the end of tonight. 2 teams in the top 4, Toronto Ultra and the Subliners, get a rematch of, well, kind of the year. Last year, it went in favor of New York, and it was a one-sided affair for the World Championship, Ali.
What's even cooler is the fact that both of these teams have made a singular roster change. Now, the biggest surprise, obviously, was New York making one after having come off of being world champions, but Sib has kind of proved himself and why they decided to make this change so far, at least, especially in that last matchup when he was simply that guy on the map. For Toronto Ultra, this is definitely going to be a proving ground of kind of who pack a punch their one player more.
Absolutely. And, you know, to talk about New York a little bit, obviously Sib's getting more comfortable. The hardpoint looks pretty good. 7-0 in search and destroy. You know, I was a guy on a team before where we won a championship and then we dropped somebody. It did not work out. So I was critical of this move that they made, but it has paid dividends. And now they're going up against Ultra again. Ultra obviously made this roster change probably because of how bad they got beat in that world championship. So this is a big time matchup. It's going to say a lot about these teams going into Major.
Optic FaZe, New York versus Toronto. It doesn't get bigger than that here in the final week of qualifiers, but there are some huge implications for all 12 teams competing this week. Let's take a look at a matchup on the bubble. LAG taking on Minnesota, battle of the blue kids or purple kids, depending on what color your skins are in your game. But Nameless, I got to talk about this LAG squad because Fame came to life in his most recent series.
Oh, yeah.
And now the whole team looks like what we thought was going to be bottom 4, now competing maybe for top 6.
Yeah, you know, there was also a lot of drama with the construction of this roster headed into the season. A lot of people, you know, talking trash about them, saying they weren't going to be very good. Maybe there should be some people and challengers on this team. Well, no, they're proving everybody wrong. The respawn has been fantastic. In their last, they're 4-4 in hardpoint, but in their last 5, Chris, they're 4-1. Diamondcon has been lighting it up, and it seems since Fame went on that 10 streak on Karachi S&D, he has been a man on a mission. So they look very comfortable. And now sitting at 2-3, their last 2 matches are going to be going up against Minnesota, and they have Miami. So for LAG, they could definitely get this W and put themselves in a situation they're in winners.
I mean, this is a situation, both these teams are in the same spot right now, right? They have very similar stories, rosters that many of us didn't really think were going to work out. And as far as it goes, LAG seems to have a little bit of an edge in this series because of how it seems to be consistent Fame has been for this team. These are all very talented players, and a lot of times they're beating themselves. So I think in this situation, LAG might have the edge.
Minnesota was in 12th place at the start of last week. Right now, you see them at number 9. A win today against LAG puts them into the top 7, and that's where they want to be at the end before we get to Boston. Top 8 gets that winner's bracket in Boston. Taking a look at the schedule on the day. Nameless, which one of these matchups goes to a Game 5?
New York versus Toronto.
Ali, which one of these matchups is the closest, or I guess biggest blowout, I should say?
Oh, the biggest blowout? Ooh, it might be that second match on the day. It depends on Miami we get today.
Vamos.
You agree? Let us know right now. We're going to break. When we come back, it's Minnesota LAG.
Let's fucking go, boys. That's so fucking cool. Let's go, boy.
What up, Steven? Or Matt? What's going down, buddy?
Ready to kick it off in the city of Boston, where champions are born.
Can't believe it.
Push on up. You have 3 players on the spawn. Maybe a chance here. Accuracy.
Hey, stop.
He's ripping Boston apart. Boston to close this lead.
Thank you.
And Linz is going to just continue to push space for the Zawolabob's team.
Stevie, get down. Get down.
Awakening versus the world, and he's coming up with the dub. But it is
Stevie.
transition into New Hill. Awakening is trying to put in absolute work. Slashes up next. He gets them all. The whole team, the Demon Jump.
Minnesota on a heater after starting 0-4. They now sit at 2-4 with a chance to be, well, I guess in the top 8. Let's see if they can get it done today as they take on LAG. The Rocker most recently coming off a 3-0 over Carolina, but we should mention Carolina was playing with TJ as a last-minute substitute.
Yo, don't throw TJ on the bus, though, because he did what he had to do in that series. I will say for Minnesota Rocker, it's kind of the same story of what I talked about last Sunday, is that they don't really have a clear strength in any game mode. And the only player that's really showed even a little bit of consistency actually has been Linz. He was the only player positive with a 1.02. We saw against Carolina, I mean, it was a Linz diff. He had to go on a 10 spree. Even though it was a 3-0, we're talking about an 8-point hard point, around 5 controls. So for them, they can get caught off guard at any point here.
Yeah, he was an absolute form in week 3, and you're going to need that because Awakening has not been great. Pacing-wise and engagement statistics, he's been lower than accuracy. That is absolutely unacceptable for this team. And then also for Big Wake, like damage from map and the hard point, he's got to be the guy out there on the cuts picking up these kills, making the game easier for everybody. He has not been doing that. The lowest on the team in sec damage. So for Minnesota, it's going to be a mountain to climb going up against an LAG team that has just been phenomenal in the respawn so far, Chris.
LAG on the other side has taken down LA Thieves. They have taken down Boston. Let's talk a little bit about the Gorillas on the other side of this matchup. And real quick, though, does Linz have the best hair in the CDL?
It's up there. I'm going to go with Vickle. Vickle got the best hair.
Oh, it's true.
He got the flow.
Comeback player of the year, without a doubt. I like what you broke down there for Minnesota, but let's talk about LAG, a team that I've always respected. I like the scrappiness out of this squad. Now they're finding success as well, Allie.
Yes, and I agree with you. I like the overall build and the thought process behind this team. The problem right now is they're beating themselves a lot of the time. We saw multiple situations where LAG should have been able to close out the maps, and they were unable to off of a lot of simple player mistakes. So for LAG, I'm hoping they did a lot of VOD review and come up here with fire.
Yeah, you can see on the screen right now, hardpoint breaking in form, 4-1 in the last 5 maps, #1 break percentage in the CDO. It's been phenomenal, man. You talk about, Diamond Con and what he's been able to do sort of early on as they were figuring it out, getting them out of the mud. He was the guy making the plays, and then recently it's been Fame popping off. So this is the LAG team that I very much like. I mean, you talk about this team, they have the 2 wins versus Boston and LAT. Their losses, Chris, Atlanta FaZe, the New York Subliners, and the Toronto Ultra.
Yikes.
Those are our top 4 teams that created legitimate super teams during during the offseason. These guys are from Challengers. It's going to take some time to acclimate, and so far they have exceeded our expectations. This is a big opportunity.
Hardest strength of schedule, I think we can say, up to this point. Today, you get an easy one statistically. Let's see if they can make good on it as we take a look at the maps and modes for LAG. If you're going to get a third W, what do you get it done on? How many maps do we go to?
We might go to 4 here. I think they're still struggling in Search and Destroy for LAG, but I think overall these maps are great for them. They're getting the same invasion that they got against Boston, as well as that Karachi that they 3-1 them in, as well as the Skid Row map number 4. This is literally the exact way that they won against Boston in 3-1 fashion. So I think they're in a good spot.
Nameless, if Minnesota wins it, how many games do we go to?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the map data. There's really no massive edge on either side. Besides, if we go to that game 5, neither team has a win on Terminal Search and Destroy, and that's really just going to be a crapshoot, 50-50 for me. But for Minnesota, big wake has to get going. You got to start off strong when we get to this invasion hardpoint and give yourself an edge in the series.
All right, well, it's time for your pick'ems. If you haven't gotten them in already, go to pick'em.callofdutyleague.com. And I am currently leading the desk, so I will go first with LAG as the first successful pick of the day.
I guess I'm not catching you today. I'm going with LAG.
LAG, Nameless, join the train.
Man, I hate when we're unanimous, because then we can just all be wrong, but I'm going with LAG as well.
What about the chat fans? Where do you lean? And we're all going LAG. Minnesota, congrats on the dub as we send it over to Study and Shift. Real quick, get your pick'ems in. Pick'em.callofdutyleague.com. Scan that little thing in the bottom corner and then get it done. Casters, take it away.
Wow, a full LAG board. I actually didn't have that for you guys at all today because like Nameless said, Minnesota's been cooking with some heat, and this map series doesn't really favor one team or the other, Jay. I think it's just all about who gets off to a hot start here to get map 1 going.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree. Like, when you looked at these maps, it's not like one team completely outstands the other one. Everyone has played it probably like 2 times at max. One team all the way at Terminal. If you're one squad in LAG, that's the only map that you haven't played in this series. So I think it's going to be a back and forth between both of these rosters. But a lot is riding more for me on the side of Minnesota, because if they walk away with this dub, they now have 3 wins on the season. And that could potentially be just enough for them to get a winner's bracket going into Boston.
Huge. We're looking at probably 3 and 4 records are likely safe. There could be some tiebreaker situations depending on what happens, but you're absolutely right. This feels like kind of a must-win series for Minnesota if they want to have a chance to make the winner's bracket. Whereas for LAG, you win this one, you very well may find yourself at least somewhat comfortably in that top 8 bracket to start off your first major, which is a bracket I think really surprising. Like the desk had said, this is like a full Challengers team last year, and there hadn't been a lot of tremendous success in a lot of regards throughout the last couple of years collectively for anyone. So this is a huge step in the right direction for LAG, but we have to start talking about this Minnesota squad because yes, they have been good lately, but a lot of it feels like it's come from Linz, that guy in the top left of your screen.
Oh yeah, they just got a W over the Carolina Ravens, and they got it done in a clean 3-0 due to what Linz was able to do on the map. A 1.4 in the series. He was Mr. Do-It-All, and he's gonna have his hands full going up against the other SMG on the other side in Fame, who went crazy in his last series. So this is very important for both of these squads, but those SMGs can really take it over the top.
And we'll see if that will be the case and maybe the linchpin for success here as we jump to an invasion hardpoint. The big thing we need you guys to focus on as we're going through this is the fact that, well, we've got some really opposite stat lines that are coming through. For LAG, this has been the best breaking team pretty much in the game, but they're one of the worst teams when it comes to rotation and holds, Jay, and that's kind of a staple across invasion hardpoint. They have to have something better today.
Especially on Invasion, like you said, my friend, because you know we're playing on pre-patch. So we're going to have Treehouse, which is going to be P4, and back towards the Palace, which is P5 of Money Hill. So if you're that team in LAG who rely on breaks every single time to find success in hardpoints, on a map like Invasion, that's going to come back to bite you. But here we go into the map number 1. They're going to be the team starting off on the good side. So how much time can they get off this P1?
Little double SMG focus over to the side hallways. They've been able to open things up for first blood and a second. No trades anywhere to be found. And, well, you want to talk about hold percentages. LAG in first. Don't even find a single kill.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not the way you want to come out swinging. And now you allow Linz to take a little bit more pressure up the map towards Courtyard. You're potentially going to try to trap them in towards back Palace. You have one player in Fame who already spawns over towards Mannequin. So the pitch is going to be here. 3 down now for LAG. The break is in.
All right, we're back in. We've got ourselves a ball game. Really good start for Minnesota, but LAG continuing to showcase those statistics. Very clean on their break attempt. Looking over towards P2, focus will be to the top left side of the map as that lock will start to open up. LAG should get here first. Lynn's trying to deter that with first blood win, but right from behind, DiamondCon keeps the rotation safe.
Yeah, DiamondCon, he's been the player.
I don't know. I want Gorillas to win. Fuck it. I'm picking Gorillas.
Make the right play happen or make the clutch kills happen, and he finds one to win the rotation for his team. And now, even though they are controlling the spawns the way that they do currently, they eventually want to flip Minnesota towards the backside of Palace so they can try to chain it towards P3, but that's already 20 uncontested seconds. They're still holding strong. Now spawns are starting to flip.
Yeah, things looking decent for Minnesota with that split spawn situation. Assault, the last one standing over towards the backside near Ice Cream. The rest of his team trying to flood right down the main street. Vivid only able to take down one, and the team kill will actually allow the break to come through pretty cleanly here for Minnesota. So back and forth, we kind of went over the top of the second.
Well, Rocker's going to get a little bit of time here.
Things are looking pretty good for Minnesota. Last attempt for fame would have to be the linchpin towards.
Oh, and he got fucking turned on, bro.
Minnesota a chance to reclaim the lead.
Yeah, Minnesota's gonna take the lead. There's also a big gunfight going away over towards the next hill as well. Accuracy was nice and early off the rotation, but he loses that gunfight to Estrio. So he tried to be the player to sneak on out, make something happen for Minnesota, but now they are trapped in towards back Palace. The next farthest player pushed up is going to be Vivid. He's working his way through DVD, but he gets cut down. So now if you are the Gorillas, you can take a deep breath. No one's going to be near the hill for about 10 seconds. Let's just make sure we watch our crosses.
Really good buffer set around this hard point. A lot of stress on Assault to watch the main street. DiamondCon catching the cross. Everything turning up pretty nicely here for LAG. Full four-man feed, and this would be a time where LAG try to extend that line a little bit further defensively and really put the pressure on Minnesota spawns.
And this is where it gets scary too, because now with only 30 seconds left, Minnesota, they know that if they apply pressure over towards bathrooms, they're definitely going to lose Treehouse. We now have to give up 30 seconds and try to rotate over towards the opposite side of the map. But again, DiamondCon in the position, already at 10-5 on a 3 streak. Going to be perfectly set up to give themselves a nice little lead. If you're a Minnesota Rocker, if you don't find a break here, you're going to be forced to chalk this pretty early and play for a full 60 at Palace.
And it's going to feel desperate in nature if you let this extra 60, even 45, go away just by the total score on the board right now. DiamondCon up top, still keeping his streak alive for 4, but Awakening able to shut him down. 6-5 start for Awakening. That's been pretty solid. We talked about the tempo of the Minnesota ARs, but accuracy still kind of lagging behind a little bit. Only 3, only a second at the hard point as well. We need to see these ARs from Minnesota start to light things up.
Yeah, they definitely have to step up, and at least they have the bodies here to apply the pressure and find the break in towards Treehouse. Now their main focus is maintaining Palace side. Fame with a big one-on-one towards the middle of the map. He's going to start it off. He can find this second. That would have been enough to potentially flip the spawns, but big kill from Vivid. They're getting the final 30. You're going to have accuracy already off the rotation towards Palace side.
Wow.
That's exactly how you want to get back into the game, as LG looking like they're going to find a couple kills to lead towards this break.
Yeah, but Linz is still underway. Really well done. Again, he's been kind of the shining part of this Minnesota team, even in their most desperate and sometimes bad moments. He's able to at least allow a little bit more of that scrap time to come through. Battle for rotation over to the final hard point. Estriel, Vivid, 1v1. They're going to see, won't actually not see each other, but Estriel, he turns back over, gets the kill on towards Vivid. The rest of LAG still spawn all the way out, but there is still a chance for Estriel to finesse his life.
Yeah, it's only Estriel Hill, though, so he has to basically go Superman. Strap on the cape. All of your teammates trying to run through the middle of the map while the rest of Minnesota trying to sniff out where you are, but he's finding openings. He's finding a kill to allow his teammates to push up towards the street side. He's finessing. He's dancing towards the bottom of the Palace.
Oh, and he's just murking him.
He finds another. Estriel on a 5, still finessing.
And here comes the rest of LAG finally here. Last one left alive for Minnesota's accuracy. And he's just stuck, or pardon me, Awakening, he's just stuck inside the hard point at the moment. Estriel on 5, slides across, catches the info. There's the bait and switch. Ah, it's beautiful. And how about that for LAG? A nice little break with still 20 seconds to go. Minnesota going to try to give this one last hit with 2 members still nearby. Accuracy, Linz working together, and there's accuracy for the double to get the scrap time, keeping us neck and neck as we rotate back over to the first hill.
Yeah, that's such a well-played hill right there to Estriel, because that scoreline could be completely different if he drops and then you allow Minnesota to get a full-on setup, and he keeps it a little bit scary, a little shaky, and now they're still up by 15 points, but into the second rotation of hard points we go. It's going to be Rocker in full control of the hill currently, but you do have those close ones for the Gorillas towards Mannequin side. You just have to find a couple kills, and they have yet to find one. Vivid and Assault holding it down so far.
Nice little lane here from Linz, trying to open things up around the outside of the hard point. They've been able to at least use that damage as a way to confirm 1 kill. Accuracy following up, but LAG could have once again find a way to break at a perfect time to see if they can hold this out as we head to an LAG. Listen in.
wait. He's on me.
Nothing dark, nothing dark. I'm gonna put your back door cups up.
Okay, go for it. Wait, I
new. Back door, dead. I have a streak. Back door on me. I'm trying to live.
on a field. Put me cut. He's on me new. On me new. I'm a bullet. I'm here.
Might spawn out.
Yeah, I'm trying to play. He's on your left. On your right side.
One's a default. I have a streak. They're all one.
Was it new? I'm playing the second. He's on me. I'm gonna dark. Me new. Watch out.
On hold.
Just kill this guy. He shot the. I have the mid door.
Square me, guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna break me too.
New, absolutely.
I got Toxin.
There's two on new.
I had the first choice. I'm shrieking.
Throw shit late too, but they can throw it down late.
One square. They're all there. One bending, one palace.
I'm pushing it. Throw shit late.
He's this square. He's square.
Oh, he's deep. He's deep. Palace. I'm not pitching.
Not pitching mid, not pitching mid.
On the street.
Stay alive. Here, I hear you. I'm waiting.
You're on the tank at least.
Let's bring the tank. Bring the tank. I'm waiting.
All our shit.
I'm trying to push up. He's living on the tank.
He's on tank. On tank.
Lamar,
Mid-cut, weak.
I spawned up.
Hold that. Spawn next temperature.
I'm paralyzed.
Rip.
I'm getting right.
Let's go, Gorillas. Get your ass in there, bruh.
I made it
Nothing summon cut.
Could be Manny, like I said.
Yo, Rip,
Ace and
Lamar, he's weak.
back out.
And one mid tank as well. Ace and you, one mid tank. He went you went door. I think one close Ace and you, just to line down.
Well, the break attempt on 1 was good, but nothing to be gained, even off the cruise missile towards 2. And in the process of that, listening, LAG also kind of get flipped around on spawns. Not good news here as we open up the bus station, Jay.
Yeah, this could be the turning point of the game. Minnesota were able to hold down that P2 for basically a full 60 on the bad side, and then we're able to flip it at the right time and chain it to this bathroom hill. If you don't find the break, if you are the Gorillas, which you're usually really successful at doing, you're going to basically call a game right here if you are Minnesota. But the break eventually does come in. Big one-on-one in towards the hill with that assault wins. Minnesota have to be forced to now hit that early rotation. You're going to have Vivid still contesting this, though, but we're thinking about that next hill. 2 players already there.
And Vivid in a lot of trouble. Does at least soften up one player. Accuracy turned around. He did able to at least earn himself a cruise missile in the process of that last hard point, and then he actually goes back in for scrap. It looked like LAG had no idea that he was still
Alrighty, y'all, we got to go over to Grim's stream for a second. I got to hear my song I requested.
I might have to download dropping plates as well. So let me check. Let me see what we are rocking right here. Disturbed. Do we have dropping plates? Yeah, it's a great song. Okay, I don't have it, so I'm gonna need to take a moment to download a few of these. I also need to get that Mudvayne song. Hopefully, it doesn't take too long. But I will get the ones I need. And I also need to relaunch the game for Crispy's song. So here's what we're going to do, I think. I think we're going to take another break. I'm going to close the game because I got to get the night in there. I'll get the
Also fall, Minnesota, who's been so good at map number 1 on the series and this season, continued to find ways to win, to open up. How about it? Really cool stuff for Minnesota to get those rotations and again, just punish LAG time and time again.
And we said it before the map 1 started. Minnesota, they were the better team at rotating. They were the better team at holding down hills. They just were not the better team at breaking. And on a map like Invasion, when you're not that team set up early, it's really difficult to break some of these hills. And that was on full display in map number 1. Minnesota, they turned the game around when they got to that P2. Get a full 45 there, flip the spawns towards the backside, towards Palace. Then you take bathrooms control. You get to about 190. But the fact that they fought that final 15, that was even better for them because they know all of the Gorillas are going to spawn towards Palace. They had to sprint down B Street, take us out of this heady. As long as no one scams in towards the hard point, we should be able to close the game out on 4. And they did it flawlessly on the final 3 hard points to close out this game and go up 1-0 in this series.
Jay, Vivid goes 23 and 19, 4K plus damage, minute 20 in the hill, and 19 of his 23 go untraded. This guy was a problem, which is, you know, not surprising. It's just we usually see those numbers from Lynn. So the fact you're getting out of Vivid, good news for Minnesota.
Yeah, that's definitely good news out of Minnesota because Lindsay, he's been that guy. But if you can get Vivid to step up the way that we know he can play, it's going to make the game a lot easier. And it was also like, what? Accuracy started like 3 and 10. He started to slowly win a couple of gunfights to win his team a couple rotations, and that also made the game a lot easier. It looked like they were a little bit late to the warm-up, but eventually they showed up to the party and had a good time, and now they're up 1-0, and this was now a situation where if you are the Gorillas, you're going into Search and Destroy where it hasn't been your friend all year long.
Yeah, the only bit of good news I would say for the side of really both teams is like LAG's been really one-dimensional in their map selection, so they have a little bit of favor getting the high rise, which we assumed they wanted. But like you said, shoes on the other foot when it comes to talking about Minnesota and their Search and Destroy has not been essentially great. But the one time they have played high rise, they were 6-2 on it. I think the thing about it is, you know, hey, for Minnesota, the good news is you were able to get not just great participation from Vivid, but your ARs are getting a lot more active. Look at the hard point time here for accuracy and awakening by the end of the game. It was a little bit of a slower start, but Minnesota able to turn things up and get their ARs more active, which is something that we will kind of echo as we eventually head into the Search and Destroy as well.
And I think that's the perfect thing that we have to focus on going into the Search and Destroy, because there's one guy in specific that usually is a menace on the map. And when we were listening to the deaths break it down, I know it breaks Nameless's heart whenever he has to talk about big wake, giga wake, not in the best shape. He's usually one of those guys that takes over the game. He has that takeover ability, but so far this season, he's been kind of below the pack. Pretty sure he's bottom 5 in hardpoint, KD. Not really the best in Search and Destroy, but he has the ability to be that guy to change the game for this team. So with them getting that early map 1 victory, it's something that they've been able to do all season. That now puts them 5-1 in opening hardpoints. You just have to be able to chain it into a Search and Destroy. And since they just played this versus Carolina, they won 6-2. They dominated in every aspect of that game. Oh yeah, we best believe we're going to throw this in the series as map number 2 to potentially go up 2-0.
Yeah, it's a perfect segue there, Sonny, because it felt like there was a light bulb moment that kind of came through while playing Carolina last week. And to be fair, you know, their opening 4 games included matches versus Optic and included matches versus New York, but finding a 3-0 versus Carolina, maybe that's like the extra step they need just to build a little bit more confidence of, hey, we are doing the right things, or we are making the right adjustments to get ourselves more competitive. And following up with a dominant map number 1, I'm sure those things have to be extra enforced. The big question will be, can you actually turn up when it matters most? In particular, whether you're talking Minnesota, whether you're talking LAG, the Search and Destroy has been kind of the vulnerability for both these two squads to this point. This is the time where things have to start clicking before we head into a major.
Yeah, they definitely have to start clicking now. And I think the biggest thing that Minnesota need to focus on is them getting the first blood and actually winning the round. Because they do a good job of getting the first kill, but the conversion rate after that is like 11th in the league. You're in a 4v3 situation. Let's just play our man-up advantages. Let's just play trades properly and walk away with these rounds. And then the opposite side for LAG, it's been their defensive side. They allow the bomb plant to go down 50% of the time in their attacking rounds, and they only have a 20% chance at retaking the site, which is dead last in the league. So if you're the team on defense in the Gorillas, let's just not let the bomb go down. We cannot retake it, so let's just make it a little bit easier for us.
Yeah, you make it sound so simple, but I think the thing is, like, as we look at a map like High Rise, how much focus do you put onto the ARs in particular? Because I think that's one of the things, if you can lock down the lanes, let your SMGs kind of float, run circles around a couple of the key areas, that makes life easier when it comes to setting up your initial defense, which, to be fair, both teams have not been particularly stellar at.
I just think on a map like High Rise, though, when you say about cutting off these lanes, there's so many different lanes on a map like High Rise, because you have the undergrounds, you have the outskirts, you have so many different angles that you can attack. So these ARs are going to put themselves in positions to hold down these long line of sites. But then when those sites get overwhelmed by nades, by stunts, you're now forced to reposition. And that little split second of a timing allows those SMGs to now maneuver around the map due to the attack usage. So even if they are holding down a certain lane, if they get back down from that spot, you cannot allow the timing to go the opposite team, because that's what LAG were been able to capitalize on it last week, was that Fame was always finding the timing. He was always making stuff happen. And if you allow that guy to start roaming, what did he go on, a 10 streak on Karachi SD last week?
Yep.
Oh yeah, you have to make sure you slow that guy down and shut down his timings. And that's going to be Lynch on the opposite side, and Vivid, who had a great performance in map number 1 to slow him down.
Yeah, I think the Lens and Vivid conversations, I think, is where I'm really taking the focus, which, you know, I think on one side of it, it's easy to kind of look at both the SMG duos and then the AR duos on both of our squads and kind of pick pros and cons, maybe more pros for the SMGs, more cons for the ARs. But I think just seeing Vivid step up like he did in map number 1, not rely just on one or the other SMG to do it, but they're kind of working in tandem with one another, that I think has to be kind of another big key towards what could be a difference maker in a Search and Destroy that, just to reiterate it, we don't really particularly give favor to one team or the other. There really isn't enough data or results to really say convincingly that, oh, yeah, LAG has played this map a lot. It favors them. Yeah, but at the same rate, Minnesota did look really good at it last week versus Carolina, so it feels like a little bit of a coin flip.
Yeah, we're just in the beginning of the season, man. These guys only play these couple of maps a handful of times, but it's not really the best. When we get to the end of the year, it'll obviously turn up. But you see these stats for both of these AR players. On one side, you got a world champion. 0.58 for Assault. Kills per round, 0.4. That's not good. And then the opposite side, Big Wake. He's not been having the season that everyone is expecting him to. 0.55 in Search and Destroy. Both of these ARs know exactly what they need to do. And it all starts by just simply winning one of those one-on-one gunfights to start it all off so you can win that percentage gunfight. You see it's a little bit better for Awakening. 54.5% compared to 25% from Assault. But on a map like High Rise, those ARs need to be felt early.
Yeah, the opening duel win percentage, I think, is going to be really, really important to know. I think for Assault, he's 25%. It's 2 and 6 in particular. But you look to those other teammates, that's where a lot of the kind of weight has been shifted, is over to Fame and over to DiamondCon. To take these opening engagements, they tally the highest on their team, and they win 62 to 73% of their opening duels. So maybe if it's just one of those things for Assault, like, hey, just stay alive in the first 30 seconds, and then we've got ourselves a chance to actually convert some of these man-favored rounds that you were kind of talking about before.
And if you're Fame in this situation, like a guy who really just had the best series he possibly could last week. Yeah. Remember, like when this team was formed and they were playing a couple matches, Fame wasn't really having the best showing. But then that last match is exactly the reason why he deserves to be in this position, because he has that takeover ability. This guy knows what it's like to play multiple roles. SMG, AR, it does not matter. So he's comfortable in a majority of these situations, and that's what makes him good at finding those opening first 2 kills. I think Assault and Estrio, the other guys, who are around a 0.5 in those opening duel percentages, you cannot have that. Let's send Fame out there. Go ahead, bud. Go get that first blood. Let's go into 4v3.
Yeah, I like that call a lot. And it's just really interesting when you look at like the history of Fame. You know, I was really kind of blinded by his ability when he was running kind of just a main SMG back in Challengers.
Yeah.
He had this call out that he was talking to us about where he would tell his teammates, I'm blacking out. And that just means he's going to go and just completely lose track of the map and just go run and kill things. And when he was able to do that, he was one of the best players in Challengers without question. When he got picked up last year, though, it was like, hey, Fame, we need you to run a second AR. Don't even bother picking up a sub. And it didn't really open him up to be able to do the same kind of things. But it definitely feels like now in this year, Modern Warfare 3, LAG are fully understanding that, yeah, this guy is an X factor. We got to let him do what he wants to at different moments in time. But enough of the podcast about the pre-setup. Let's get into it. High Rise, Search, and Destroy. Big map here for LAG, trying to tie the series up at 1.
Yeah, they need to tie the series up at 1, man. They need to come out swinging into Search and Destroy. This is one of the only 2 Search and Destroy maps they have played on the season, this and Karachi. So they know exactly what's going on, as they're going to be the team on the attack early on. First blood already in from DiamondCon, beams them actually across the map, so already in the man advantage.
Yep, and that's, again, just keep an eye on
accuracy
that
drops early.
Percentage. It's been really not a shining star for Minnesota.
Oh, there he is.
Fame, top of the helicopter, does see Vivid for a moment, but nades actually push him off, so it avoids the gunfight a little while longer. And it looks like LAG are saying, hey, we know exactly where Vivid's playing from. Let's see if we can get a harder look here at A.
You're dead.
But
never mind.
Fame still thought that he was at the propane. He was probably jaw dropped the fact that Vivid was standing on top of the propane. It blows up and he still does not die. Eventually walks away with the kill, makes it a 3v3, but Lens gets the info that the pressure's going to be over towards B. He's able to reposition himself, use a smoke grenade to get out, but now the B site is going to be free for LAG to potentially spawn plant.
Good follow-up here from Estriel. Damage towards Lens. They eventually track him down through the self-smoke. Vivid up top would have to scout everything out. Catches a couple of cast
it's over.
but does not see Assault from behind him. Last player left is Big Wake. 1v3 situation plus a defuse required for it. And he is in a world of hurt. Has no idea if DiamondCon has pushed through. He's not sure where the exit from Estriel 100% is, and there's still the worry of Assault from behind.
And there he is.
Yep. And eventually Assault strikes. Eventually Assault strikes the lead to Guerrillas, taking the first round. DiamondCon starts it off with the beams down accuracy, and then they just slowly work their way up towards the B bomb, get the info, find the kill onto Lens, who's about a mid. And once it turns into a 3v2.
So, okay, I said this earlier. I can't actually.
Now they go to the defensive side where they tend to struggle a bit.
which is here pretty soon. So what I will do instead is I will do
just something to watch out for. Both these two teams, on high res in particular, rank in the top 3 and converting rounds after first blood. So we may just
here, I'm gonna do that
first blood battle, and that might be the end of the round. See if that continues to be the case. Stuns over towards Linz's direction, does scout him out, but no worse for wear.
All right, here you go, Big Sexy. I'll do 30 of them
It just kind of holds your ground. No need to do anything too overambitious.
Yeah, they have this set up. They have Estrio on the top of the generators in towards the B site. Domicon in a nice little spot. Just watching this B street, eventually decides to pop up. Forces Awakening to change his positioning a little bit, but it's already 30 seconds wiped off the clock. Minnesota, they're trying to get information from top heli, trying to see how they're properly set up, but so far LAG aren't giving them nothing.
I mean, we got a game of tag going on over here towards Elevator Alley, and eventually Vivid is able to support, so Diamondcon this time falls for first blood. Wake will go up top.
Yeah, I don't have a camera over there.
The rest of LAG still lowly playing around B. Fame for a moment you thought may have been scouted out, but no, Linz actually still drops, so Fame's position safe. Trade comes through, time running out.
Okay.
Bomb being planted.
Oh, it doesn't want you to play Civ
down low,
and
able to catch one. Bomb
watch
will
at the same
extend the
time.
clock into the 2v2 we go.
Into the 2v2, and accuracy, his position is now known. Can he win this gunfight? No, he cannot. Assault takes him down, so now it's all up to Vivid. The guy who got the bomb
Rachel,
down.
welcome in.
Reposition and working his way all the way through back heli.
There's some rock here, that's right.
He might be able to get just enough to win this round.
Catches him off the banister. First shots are good. Now the 1v1 with that streak.
Sorry, I would have taken
Vivid will just bounce back over. 18 seconds.
Like I said, I got to be.
Challenge and Estro getting the first couple of shots, but doesn't matter. Vivid just slides over and converts the 1v2, getting Minnesota another round.
How you doing, Rachel?
Yeah, that was just a good round right there. Good adjustments right there out of Vivid. Put that bomb down. He knows it's a 1v2. Assault just got a kill over towards helipad steps. We're gonna wrap our way back towards the backside. Find that first kill.
Well, that's really weird that you can't. What, you can't have the stream up on one screen and Civ on the other? Why is it saying it's playing Inside the Fire? We're not actually playing Inside the Fire. Oh, I love that song.
Very
doing drop and plates, so.
Opening first bloods again have determined our round outcome to this point as well. Nades over the top. Minnesota getting aggressive. Elevator Alley 3-man stack here.
I'm good. Actually going to be seeing Disturb tonight, so we're playing some.
And I think Vivid did see Astro playing closer towards the save bomb.
The stream's been good.
Astro is awesome as well, so he's going to try and get out with his life, but no, the nade comes in, and finally the propane takes down a player. Minnesota back-to-back rounds with the first blood. He's looking for the second, and he finds it off of Assault. Spots another one in the back of the base.
Here you go, Dank.
Your position known. Minnesota all map control now.
Player they have not seen yet is hanging out over towards the offensive ring.
Yeah, they're playing, yeah. I don't really like falling in reverse, but I like Disturb a lot. So I'm excited for this. I've never seen Disturb, so I'm really excited.
Looking for the final kill, doesn't quite finish off the last shot needed to take care of Fame. Yeah, they're actually trying to give it to him. They're trying to give it to him.
Shoot at him. I got it.
You've seen Disturb 16 or 6 times? Holy shit, I'm so excited.
Said, hey, I've got 5, let me get this final kill. And I was like,
but honestly, I kind of associate you with Disturb, or associate Disturb with you, Rico, because I know they were one of your favorite bands back in the day. You showed me a lot of good Disturb songs. So I always kind of, it's kind of cool you popped in on the day that I'm going to see them.
Again by Rocker. Now put themselves up 2-1 with the cruise missile now being able to work with. Now you got to force the players on LAG to sand ice in the back of the base. That cruise missile is going to be able to take you down wherever you go.
Never seen any big bands live.
Just watching to see if he can catch it when crossing through the windows. Bomb leaning over towards
David.
Maybe thinking about getting over towards A. A lot of the nades over the top, though, may have caused some concern in trying to read if any defenders had actually fully crossed over, and there's a bit of a pause here.
The song's really fun to play as well, Dank. It's my first time playing it.
So he at least gets the information. One player's on the right side, everyone else has to be on the left. Either underground or playing around this B site. And eventually, at least Domicon finds the first blood. Information now gained. Lynn is there for the trade. 3v3.
Huge for Lynn to get one and get away. Trade went back and forth on both sides. So 2v3 bombs still in hand here for Lynn and the Rocker as what they want to rotate over towards A, but no entry point whatsoever. So again, first blood determined. determines the outcome of the round. We stay in a back and forth game tug of war.
Good setup right there from the Gorillas, though. Got 3 players over towards the B side. Calvin Conley and launched over on that B lane. Finds the first blood, and then even though the trade comes in, accuracy tries to move a lot of the players to sneak his way out the blue. He eventually gets taken down. Put LAG in their man advantage. They trade officially to walk away with the round. Tied up at 2. Secure defense. There's already adjustments made out of the Gorillas.
It's just interesting to see how both teams have kind of diverged, leaning one side or the other depending on the setups. LAG have really over-invested over towards the alley this time. A little bit more neutral, just kind of watching over the middle of the map first, and then there will be a bit of a break-off over to the interior at A. Astral over a bit, trying to nade towards Elevator Alley. Doesn't connect with anything there, but Diamond Con at least gets a little bit more forward space to work with as LAG continue to kind of pick apart the map little by little.
They're slowly working their way up B Street. No one's watching this lane. They can work up through the elevator side. Just got to check top helipad, and eventually at least the Fame finding the first bullet onto Lynn. So now B is going to be in full control of the Gorillas. They have
Rodri, welcome. Came in looking for someone playing Justin Bieber, and I
players cross in towards the site. Does get tagged, has to back away.
I mean, I technically could play Justin Bieber
Astral not committing to
if it was requested, but
finally makes his move.
I do prefer to serve personally.
Is there a toe hanging out? Sure
How are you doing, Rodri?
Okay, 3v3. Bomb now down, confirmed at B.
All right.
Minnesota still
absolutely
the
not a bot.
To still
a bit of a
the
sus
site,
name, but
on the
you know,
clock.
you've hung out.
You've started to move down.
Someone
has to commit towards this bomb, and now you're allowing Vivid.
You've been cool.
Remaining time to slowly work up on this late.
Appreciate you hanging out.
It's going to be in a position to potentially.
We're gonna play some of this telephone.
Timing on the kill. Vivid's going to be able to line them up 3v2, and now they have them trapped inside.
Completely trapped. Fame down low. Diamond Con up top. First shot's good for DC. Also sneaks away towards the scaffolding in the same breath. Fame takes down accuracy on the lower side. So Vivid, who's done it all so far for Rocker, would have to do it again. 1v2 situation. First one free. Little spin off the top. No! Not going to work out. Quick reaction allows LAG to confirm the kill, and with that also the round.
Oh, he read the play beautifully. I thought he put himself in a great position, but fortunately the movement right there from Diamond Con just too strong. Even better hip fire to close out the round right there for the Gorillas. They start off again with the first blood. They take control of the site even with the bomb getting down. But Vivid wins that gunfight.
All right, so some French rock.
They just won those
Never heard
one-on-ones,
this
and that
before.
makes it
I'm
impossible.
excited to give it a shot.
Vivid tried his best. He now puts himself at 9-3. Still has that cruise missile to work with. That LAG take control again.
Yeah, huge out of Vivid for 2 maps in a row. Still down though overall, and Awakening still looking for his first kill. I mean, you think back to the years of Call of Duty that Awakening has been in the Pro League. It's always been Awakening getting double-digit kills, it feels like, in Search and Destroy maps. That has not been the case so far in Modern Warfare 3. That would need to change, you would think, for Minnesota to find favor here in this map number 2.
Yeah, Donut is definitely not what you want to have out of this situation.
All right, here we go.
So we definitely have to turn that around, and Vivid said, it's time to invest this cruise missile. Let's get this info, but unfortunately the trophy is going to block it. So now they know exactly what the setup is for the Gorillas, but do they decide to change that a little bit? Ashiro basically thinks that he's trapped in towards the elevators, but he gets the timing to get out. Now he's in that B side with Lindsay, working his way up the ladder to try to get him big.
Minnesota seemed pretty confident that they knew that Astro got out of elevator. Linz didn't even look that direction in any form. Fame just running around over through Blue Alley, eventually clears out the helicopter steps. Astro down low, hoping for a gunfight. Something to get this defense a little bit more in favor, but it's Fame still just finessing his life. 2 kills from him in the round as the bomb gets planted. And it's all
I'm digging it so far.
It's going to be a heck of a time to start putting together a couple of kills. He's gotten 1 so far in this round. Estriel down low, goes unscouted, and LAG, couple rounds now in a row, find themselves up 4-2.
Yeah, Awakening just, his information was known. It was all gained. He just got a kill, so they said, this is chapter towards top of Fame. Everyone holds a different angle. We're going to be able to walk away with the round, but on the back of Fame, finding another first blood. They get that bomb down, trade officially, and the 1v3 Awakening stands no chance. They also withstand that cruise missile, so that's already a great round for the Gorillas. 3 rounds in a row. Get the cruise missile invested. Now this ACD is basically yours. Back on the attack thing. Be back keep on first bloods.
I like those drums.
First bloods at this point. See if that continues to be the case. Bang names over the top over towards B. The rest of his team just kind of floating at the moment through the windows. Eventually looking to make their move over towards B alley, which again, this is that same triple stack that we saw earlier from Minnesota. Just kind of locking things up and around elevator. Lynn's taking an extra step forward, maybe wanting to get aggressive and push extra steps if he can, pending what his rest of his ARC behind him.
He's just in a great position, though, to not allow anything to happen at B because that A-bomb is very difficult to get a plant down. As long as you hold down this B street, they have everything cut off that you need to. Accuracy was sitting in his hands.
Yeah, me too, honestly. Nobo. This is good. I might have to, if this is on Spotify, I might have to add it.
Right. First way in the B, gets the info, now he's able to get out.
Could be any adjustment here from LAG trying to isolate these players. Backside elevator and over towards Propane. Astriel off the regen looking to re-engage. Vivid still seen in the corner. And eventually it's Fame who actually connects at long range onto Awakening. That is a 1v1 through Elevator Alley. Accuracy taking down Fame over towards the opposite side.
Woo!
Oh, perfect timing.
That was disgusting there, Vivid.
First trade is free. Does he know that Linz is nearby?
Nope.
No, doesn't seem to. And Minnesota Rock are able to take us back to a 1-round deficit.
Man, what a play by Vivid right there. Just in the perfect position at the perfect time. Two players try to work their way up through underground. He finds two, and then even though he does get traded, it's only 15 seconds left. And Linz lines it up to win the round for Minnesota. Staying alive a little bit longer. Now down 3-4. On the attacking side, I would like to see a pace change right here from Rocket.
I was just about to say.
Gorillas have been able to just dominate this B street.
Yep.
They slowly start to pick you guys apart. Time starting to dwindle, and eventually when you have to make a play, there's just no play to be made because
2 went right.
So let's just be a little bit faster on this run.
2 went B. All right, well.
Has crossed over. Lynn should know that there's a threat
fuck.
nearby. And here is that tempo change. Lynn's already super far forward, and Fame has absolutely no idea. First one cut down to pieces. They've been following on the second, and oh, it's just absolutely perfect. Holy cow, there's the tempo change, Jay, you freaking prophet.
We needed that. That's exactly what they needed. They said, listen, we are not messing with these guys over towards B. Like, Estriel's jumping on top of the generator. There's so many things that these guys are doing right on that side of the map. Let's switch it up. Let's go to the bomb that's a lot more difficult, and Linz was able to start it off by just putting himself in that position out in the Propane. Gets the first blood. I don't know where Vivid got the final 2-piece. He had to have been top heli, but eventually Linz finds the final. So 2 quick rounds in a row for Minnesota to tie the game back at 4.
What an absolute beautiful piece of timing to flip the switch as well. I mean, I don't want to say it's been like a slow game of chess to this point, but it really has been first bloods at long range. And finally, we have a bit of a narrative change. So, what can we see this round in a tie 4-4 game? Will there be new patterns that start to develop late into the search and destroy? Fame has already got up mid-alley and has a good crossing angle towards B.
Oh my god.
The problem is Vivid sees the top of his hair. No worries for the easy kill. Vivid up to 15-5. No end in sight for the young man.
And he gets another information, at least the information on the Diamond Con, but the shots are not good enough to find the kill. DC makes it a 3v3, but Linz is going to be instantly here for the trade. 3v2, advantage Minnesota. And they know that Astriel's just waiting to climb this ladder, so Linz is just going to take his time in towards this B site.
Oh, but Astriel doesn't take the ladder. Instead, pops down low and actually has a look for a moment at Linz, who forfeits the gunfight, and eventually it's accuracy to kind of help give cover towards Linz. Now a 1v2 for Astriel. A huge round number 9.
Damn.
Range accuracy. Not gonna miss a bullet. Minnesota taking advantage going into our 10th round.
That's 3 rounds in a row, man.
Yes, sir.
His adjustments so far. 2 on the defensive side, 1 on the attack, but just simply stepping up in the pace. But it all starts on the first blood again, Allen. What a great angle right there from Vivid to find that kill onto Fame. Fame was trying to set up a crossfire with Diamond Con, but once you take him down, they're gonna slow down on their attacking rounds. DC eventually does get traded as well. Accuracy wins the island gunfight across the map. The Nashry with that SMG in hand is not going to win that gunfight. Versus a name like Accuracy.
Yep.
Shoots like that. Minnesota now at game point.
And what do you call here if you're LAG? 3 rounds lost in a row. Over to a defense that you just got bashed over at A. And they're just going to pretty much forfeit it. Fame will give at least a line of sight over towards the A cross. But largely speaking, LAG are fully invested onto this B defense.
Again, this is their go-to. We shut down this B street. We should be able to cut off everything else. We just don't want to get first-blooded. Fame is going to be that player on the back of the base. A couple shots going down from Accuracy. He's going to be able to get out with his life. But you see all of Rocker. They are not working this left side. They know they are stacked on this side of the map.
Salt getting tagged. Vivid focused on the trophy system. And in that moment, Diamond Con Chows finds first blood. Linz trying, if he possibly could, to isolate for the trade, but won't be able to. And Diamond Con will punish again. Linz up to 5 in a row, though. Backs off his elimination to at least retrieve the bomb. And I'll tell you, how big could a late cruise missile be if he can earn it? It's all down to Lins, though. It's the first. There's the cruise, but it may not make much of a difference, as he will not be able to do much more in the round. LAG will get us to a round 11, but the extra resource has been earned.
That cruise missile could play dividend in this round 11. Good job from Lins to at least find that one kill. He knew the round was basically going to be chalked. 1v3 on a map like High Rise. Neither one of these sites is easy to get the bomb down, especially if you're not finding any kills at the right time. But into the round 11 we go. Rocker with the cruise missile. Really curious who was able to outslay who. I'm thinking with Vivid having 15, not many other kills from the rest of the squad. It's got to be LAG on the defensive side. No, it's actually going to be Minnesota. So this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect if you are Minnesota. You invest your attacks over towards that B site. If they start
round 11, boys.
No trophy systems earned there, we saw for a moment. For LAG, they can't even go outside this back office area. If I read the stats correctly, no one was over 70% way of earning up that field upgrade. So this is so impactful. Everyone's just, no one wants to move. It's just, Lins will eventually call this out. This will get a lay of the land, but LAG haven't given them any information because they can't go outside their back base yet.
They haven't given up anything, and with that cruise missile now getting invested, you get the information. You allow Minnesota now take more map control, get out of their base. You know where the pressure's coming in from. You have accuracy on the helipad steps, potentially watching the crossover towards B, but Estrio's checking everything. He might be able to get this bomb down for free.
First blood traded back immediately. Assault tagged up in towards elevator, but Estrio gets the plant and sneaks away, trying to bait out shots as Assault is on the regen. Estrio now completely resetting. Accuracy, just hoping, praying he gets this 1v1 with Assault, which eventually he does. 2 kills good for Minnesota. Just down to Estrio. Would be a 1v3. Smokes himself. Feeling like he has to check the bomb. No one home yet. There's the double shell. The stun completely locks him into place. He's stuck in molasses. And the round 11, good for Minnesota. What a bounce back. 4 of what, 5 rounds they win essentially in a row? Unreal composure for Rocker.
That's some serious ice, man. With the Iceman on your roster, Minnesota Rocker. Walk away with the search and destroy. Go up 2-0 in this series. And what a play call right there out of Rocker. Just everyone just take our time. No one drop. No one get first blooded. Because this S&D was all about the first bloods. No one drops right off the rip. You force LAG to now reposition himself once that cruise missile gets invested. You gotta back up. If you don't have a cruise missile, if you don't have a trophy system, you are going to get first blooded with that missile in the air. But with the repositioning out of Rocker, even with the bomb going down, trades go back and forth. Accuracy in his position just basically called game. Because he knows exactly where Assault was, trapped in towards the elevator. He knew exactly where Estrio was, at least jumps down towards underground. So he had all the information when it was a 3v3 to put his team in the advantage to walk away with the game. Rocker just ice up. Now they're up 2-0.
15 and 8 from Vivid, nearly 3,500 damage.
3,500 damage?
Yes,
Is he playing
sir.
a hot point? Oh my
He was
God.
everywhere, brother. He was everywhere. Wow. 2 cruise missiles from Minnesota could have been the big difference maker here in map number 2, a tight one, but the scoreboard leaning that lovely shade of purple. I guess both teams have a lovely shade of purple in their logos, but for Minnesota, things looking super positive. That maybe the break and the reset they needed from the first 2 weeks into these last 2 was what the doctor ordered, because my goodness, they're looking clean, Jay.
That's clean, man. Clean hard point. Not as clean search and destroy, but you ice up to walk away with a 6-5, and now you are going into a Karachi control where both teams are complete opposites of each other. One's good on defense, one's good on offense. So it's going to be another square up in the map 3.
It's going to be a good one. Plus, we also have a Skid Row hard point where both teams have had some electricity moments over the course of the last couple of weeks. So it's going to be a tall ask, I would say. First and foremost, for LAG to start to put together a reverse sweep, but a Karachi control is a bit of a playground for them that we've seen in the past. Can they provide and extend this series to at least get to 4? Again, for LAG, this could be a series win that confirms the upper bracket, whereas for Minnesota, a 3-0 would go a long way towards potential tiebreakers that they can close out with dubs. See how things go. We'll be back with the Karachi control right after this.
All right, yeah, we're good. Take a biggie. Be right back.
Map number 3, or just about. Currently, Minnesota Rocket looking nice with it. 2-0 up on LAG. I'm Shift that study, and I think the biggest point here is Vivid is back and looking mighty fine to this point, study.
That guy's going crazy, man. Map number 1, he was the guy who really set the tone. 19 non-traded kills, and they thought he couldn't top it in map number 2, but goes 15-8. 3,500 damage. Like, he basically just played 2 back-to-back hard points. That's how good he's playing. And now that leads to Minnesota Rocker being up 2-0 in full control of this series. No pun intended. Now we're going into control.
And that's the big thing here is, well, for Minnesota and LAG, haven't particularly been bad in any form, I would say, but Karachi's been an interesting one because you framed it up that each other's pros are the other team's cons. Good attacking stuff coming out of LAG, where the defensive items out of Rocker have been clean. So as we start things off with those sides, it will be an initial attempt towards A, ultimately pushed back by Minnesota to start.
Yeah, already a great start for Minnesota. They find all the kills. Now they hit the reset button if you are the Gorillas, and you basically have them trapped. You have Awakening already pushed out towards junk, so you know the pressure's not coming over towards that B point. It's all pressure over towards the chicken coop side. Accuracy and Lins are cutting them down one by one. Accuracy from top 3 is able to find 2. LAG have not been able to find anything yet. Finally, Diamond Con finds 1. Could potentially be the thing to get him out.
Trying to work this through Coop side, though, and Accuracy top 3rd could be tough to do. gets them with the little left-right punch combo. So with that, LAG now control the left side of the map, looking to make their way on to stop this clock. 30 seconds is where it will stall out, and Minnesota off the respawn, looking to mostly hit this through mid-alley.
Yeah, they don't want to contest towards chicken side because they know they could potentially be a player towards bridge, a player towards top AC. Let's just try to fight it through middle, and that might come back to bite them as Estriel finds 3, and he's instantly putting pressure on towards B. He does get cut down, but that's just enough to basically call A theirs. They're going to be able to extend this time. Minnesota might want to go for this one again.
Yeah, a little more focus towards Hotel here from Minnesota as the second tick of progress will get locked in, and like you mentioned, no real concerned effort towards trying to re-attack over towards this A zone. Maybe a chance to find some kills off exit though. They've been playing over towards red. Does get caught. Disastrial lighting him up, and now a hit starts to make its way over towards the Minnesota spawn for LAG.
And now they have Junkyard control to it. You also have Estriel potentially put himself in the spawn trap positioning. They always spawn towards the back left side of Cafe. He's trying to find a timing to at least find one. He does so, but the rest of his teammates don't find anything on the opposite side. Already, that's going to be 30 seconds wiped off of the clock. Fame in a position to at least open up a lane, but Vivid is still going to be the cutoff man. Only a minute left, and Minnesota still holding on.
Yeah, LA looked a little surprised that Minnesota were putting so much forward aggression through Hotel in towards Junk. Estriel once again, though, off his respawn. I mean, he's lighting it up. 8 and 4 eventually traded out, but he's the one creating a lot of issues here for Minnesota's defense to this point. It's giving his team a chance to try to find these breaks, but just as soon as he finds the kill, no one's following up for LAG. DiamondCon only able to get one, and Rocker will hold a marginal life lead as Estriel again gets to work opening the front doors.
This is just a straight tunnel push. We're going to hit Junk every single time, and we're going to be able to win a couple gunfights, and that's going to be able to put them in a position to stop this B point. All of Minnesota now, a little bit scattered around the map. You have Vivid going on a flank. He wins that one-on-one. Awakening finds a second. With those 2 kills, that might be just enough to slow down this push or eventually shut this one down.
9 seconds, 7v7. Awakening able to see that DC and Assault have moved over towards the back alley. Oh, and he's waiting for him perfectly. Now down to 2 seconds. Last player left alive was Assault. He will not be able to stand inside the zone. So how about it? It looked like for a moment their LAG behind Estriel's just pure individual efforts should have been able to break things through, but no one else was really able there to follow up.
Yeah, no one else was in a position to find a kill after Estriel find that 3-piece. And then when Estriel tries to push that towards the B point, he instantly does get cut down. I think it was just great reinforcements from Minnesota every time. They knew where the pressure was coming in towards red side. We just have to trade. As long as we don't lose these gunfights, we're going to be in a position to win this round, and they did a great job of doing so. Vivid was the first guy to start it off. He slides in, gets one, finds a second, and then you have a player in accuracy who goes on a late flank to eventually spawn these guys a little bit deeper. So Minnesota, they struggled on the defense early on, but they take defensive round number 1.
And Rocker, like we said, have not been particularly great on their offense. We'll head over to a
shit was nutty.
They can find success here at A.
Okay, hold the pinch. I just fell asleep. Pinch. He's going up mid. Nothing on the left. He's going up mid on you, Joe.
Help me, guys.
Nothing on the left. There's 2 players. Just keep going. I'm going to stop. Add the field. You can meet the field. I'm going to go mid cut fast. He's under plant? Yeah. Got me. On you left, Diamond. I real, but where left? He's like in the cubby, Nice 3. Last guy, Adam. I'm getting on. I'm not helping you, Joe.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm going to get your all. They have a trophy, L. I bro. Yeah, I'm looking top. What's in diner? One's in diner. Oh my god. They're set up. Get this cap. Yep. Yo, I'm in the secret hole. He can shot you. In the hole? Yeah. He was in the hole. He's trying to play for me. 2 red stairs, 1 in the hut, and 1's in our spawn. He's still in the secret thing.
Nice shit.
He's in the secret thing still.
I'm looking for a secret.
I'm trying to name this guy, Joe.
I'm in the car.
After this.
I'll see him anymore. What's left?
I need him. I'm running this guy.
I can't see him.
No, he's mid-cut. Mid-cut, Diamond.
There's a guy red. There was a guy top red.
I see him.
Top red, drugs.
Nice.
No.
Where'd they go?
I'm looking at cross right now.
I'm climbing top AC then, bro.
Double watch me cross. He could be mail on the show. Cross Adam.
Yeah, I'm going now.
I have top AC, guys.
Double cross. Famous assault. Watch you cross.
I'm in it.
I'm one shot.
Can't even understand what the fuck that dude was saying.
One on the wall. He's mail. He's mail somewhere.
Oh. He was all flustered trying to talk all fast and shit.
Lots of success there from Rocker over A. They've got a ton of time, even still, to work with. 16 playing, 14, minute 8 on the clock, and Lynn's
He's above you.
way to open up things to get into Diner here if he wants to.
Yeah, this is where it gets a little scary because if you are the Gorillas, you have multiple players going on flank routes, and if Rocker are able to pick this up, they're basically going to be able to close out this round, but 2 kills already in favor of the Gorillas. Lynn's now the sole man over towards his B point. Information now gained. He at least finds one, but now how long can you play your life to allow your teammates to get back to you before you make a play happen?
Oh, I like that little jump up, though, from Lynn's. He actually forces DiamondCon to spawn all the way down towards the S&D street. And a chance for him with help over the middle of the map. He could just kind of go prone and stop the clock if they need to here. Lynn's just finessing for forever. The problem is, kind of like what Estro was doing on the offense for the side of LAG, no one else from Minnesota is finding a way to help him out. So now Lynn's by himself. DiamondCon over the top, able to get some tags, and there's just not enough assistance, it feels like, here for Rocker.
Yeah,
Lynn's has to commit his life, and as he does, he essentially forfeits his own life, leaving Vivid now by himself. 8v9, gunfights need to be won from the front here. Rocker need help.
Yeah,
Nope.
Rocker need help desperately because it's only been one player on this side of the map
Nope.
the whole time, but Vivid finds one, Accuracy finds a second.
Nope.
They can chain a couple kills together. They can still win this round. That's now 3 dead in a row. You're forcing all of LAG to either hit through Soda Alley or jump over the dumpster. And Liz is in a perfect position to pinch him. He's going to be able to find one. He's
No.
gonna find two. No, he's not. Assault takes him down, but the second tick is in. They still got a chance.
5v3. LAG have to go through Dumpster Alley. Vivid off the regen, looking to pick him apart.
Oh my God.
First one. Now it's
No.
the last one left, and the kill comes through. So Rocker will take the offense by elimination, but the extra tick did get added, so huge advantage.
No, exactly.
This eventually goes 5.
Exactly.
You might not want it if you are Rocker.
They're
because
going
your
ham.
hasn't treated you kindly all season, but they almost make that happen in those final moments.
Welcome in, by the way. How are we doing today?
You saw both SMG players when they were on that beat point. The other 2 AR players, they were basically stuck in their base. They could not get out. But finally, when they were able to get out, you see it get a little bit mixy towards the very end. Wait, Minnesota won the round?
Yeah,
What
they
about
got it by
kills?
Yeah, they got it by kills.
God.
Yeah. 5v3 at the end, last kill. So now LAG have a lot to do here to get this thing back. Estriel just picking up where he left off.
Oh, my bad.
Good first blood win. Fame staying safe on the zone. Assault watching over the top of him. That should be good for the first tick of progress. But Minnesota have full high ground control. So the lock is in for the first tick. But you've got Rocker members swarming all around you. And I'm sure Fame is just saying, help me. I need some assistance, please.
He needs some help.
I mean, DJ, I'm so sorry. I don't recognize the name. I normally don't stream on YouTube, so I stream on Twitch for the most part. I just have to stream this on YouTube. I can't stream the CDL on Twitch, unfortunately.
Finds that kill as well. So A is about to be done and dusted. They're gonna have 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Yeah. Try to complete over towards B, but it all starts by taking over towards junk control. You have to take down Vivid.
3 life advantage, lots of time. No need to do anything desperate in any form. Vivid stunned up, still finds the first kill. Fame trying to follow up with a double of his own, trying to again regain some opening control here at Hotel. This time likely to work with DiamondCon. Estriel kind of floating around through mid-map. He's continuing to be a thorn in the side of the Rocker, as now LAG finally have at least some concentrative setup if they want to actually give this a go for a break from the front.
They're just gonna wait though. That opening kill is everything, and Assault finds the first. Now they're not even gonna attempt to go into his ticket. They don't want to check multiple corners when they're working their way on that side of the map, but Vivid cuts down one. Still Minnesota reinforcing on the right side of the map. Estriel on a 5 screen, but they find 2, they find 3. This might be the opportunity. That's all 4 dead. The stack needs to be in.
Trophy down, stack it up. 2 trophies down, why not? Put them in the same spot if you dare. And for LAG, they don't want to go through Dumpster Alley, so they're going to take the scenic route back through mid. Vivid and Awakening hitting through topside red. Lynn's trying to get through Soda Alley. First couple of kills good for Rocker on this retake attempt. We talked about LAG's inability to hold setups, and once again, they get completely foiled. Third tick of progress only gets to halfway, and accuracy make sure that's fully depleted.
Now you're forced to hit that reset button, but at least they get the close junk spawns. You have to win this next set of gunfights again, and Estriel starts it off with the first. Just all trying to team fight. Everyone conga lining right in through the ticket. And Lens is in the perfect position to make something happen.
Oh, look at the overhead here, just picking apart the setup. Yeah, just nowhere to go for LAG. Life deficit now just cut down to 1. Map positioning all favoring that of the Rocker. Vivid on the cross, able to at least get a couple of tags in. Nades coming his way. Awakening right through mid just to make sure there's no quick cut over towards the Red Hotel. And it looks like that'll be enough for LAG to kind of take what they were given and try to use it as a way to manipulate the map back into their favor.
Yeah, we have to figure out another way. We can't go junk side because that takes a lot of time. We have to now overextend, find an opening through the back end, and Liz is in a perfect position to at least cut a couple off, but he only takes down one. You find a couple kills through the back end, you can potentially put them in a spawn trap as your teammates are winning crossfights, gunfights across the map. The only player that can make something happen is Vivid. What can he do for Minnesota?
He's got to do it all, and he's not able to do anything. It's Estriel again. He's at 27 and 16. Mercy. And there's the stack for LAG. No worries here as they confirm the third tick of progress, but Estriel is on literal fire right now. 27, and they're down 0-2.
That guy's like a walking two-piece, Alan. Like, it's
maybe walking three-piece.
Even long distance, this guy's making it happen. 28 and 16, 4,700 damage. It leads to the Gorillas finally getting around on the board. And it was an attack, so now they're going back on defense. And we saw the way that Minnesota were able to do it last time. It was just simply off of kills. You got to try to put them in the bait, put them in the trap, push out towards jump, force them to spawn chicken coop, force them to overextend to make your life a little bit easier.
Estriel still carrying a force spree in towards this next round as well. Nades up the top, not even going to connect. And, ooh, hold on a second. Vivid is already pushed pretty far forward towards topside red. Actually slides out. He could watch this cross, but look at LAG's defensive play. They're trying to go all the way around the back, but Minnesota have sniffed this out. Fame will drop. First tick of progress going to get locked. Follow-up kills perfect for Rocker. Estriel, last one standing. He's got nothing to work with, and you've got Vivid already on rotation.
Yeah, the whole team is off rotation. All right, A is easy to get done. Let's just hop on B, help me over on this side of the map, and that's exactly what Awakening is going to do. One player trying to go over the dumpster hop. It's going to be Estriel. He wins an insane gunfight, finds a second with a nade, and single-handedly shuts down that B push. Now you're forcing Rocker. Complete this A point. Diamond Con going to try to contest it, but not enough. It's going to be time extended by a minute. Minnesota currently up by 3 lives.
I mean, every time LAG have their backs up against the wall, Estriel just comes out swinging to give his team a chance. So now the map positioning all favoring the defense moving forward, but Vivid just runs right out with no cause for concern whatsoever. He gets himself too. Rocker not fully able to follow up on the eliminations. Lynn's last one standing. He'll catch one in the cross, but really can't make any moves over towards B as Rocker still continue to come off spawn.
That's a big kill though to take down Fame. Forward up through junk. You still have Lynn's roaming around the back of the base, and now Fame off spawn knows that he has to play slow. We cannot allow this guy to go for a pinch and potentially break our setup, but not even Lynn's. It's Vivid right through Soda Alley. Guns both of them off the back alley. Awakening finds the third, and last player is Fame. And can he find a couple kills to allow his teammates to jump over this dumpster?
Then he gets popped, just trying to play off this pinch. Re-wraps all the way down, gets caught over. Oh! Topside red, second tick of progress gonna get locked. Vivid starting to light things up on 4. The whole team of Rockers starting to streak. Last attempt to try to break through, Diamond Con gets 2. Can anyone else touch it? Time it has to come through dumpster, and it will not be able to happen. 3-0 the series. Everyone coming up wrong in predictions as Rocker, calm, cool, collected, sweep LAG, and keep the upper bracket hopes alive.
Oh, Minnesota with the perfect break at the end, Alan. I just think right there for LAG, it was just way too tight of a setup. You let one player sneak on by. If he find a 2-piece, it's all broken down, and that was Vivid. Through Soda Alley, 2 headshots off of that half wall with that SMG in hand, starts it all off. And once you spawn them out towards the back alley, once you force them to start jumping over this dumpster, all you have to do is trade efficiently, stay down on the point, and the game is going to be yours. Minnesota Rocker only had 1 win on the season, and that was last week versus Carolina. Come in today and get another 3-0 versus the Gorillas to keep their winners brackets hope alive at the Boston Major, man. What a series from them.
And how about Awakening? 25 and 21, not the greatest numbers you would think.
5K damage,
5K damage, dude.
Yeah.
And 7 objective kills. How about that? Talk about cleaning things up when most needed to. We're on the other side, 30 and 20 for Estriel. Those are some unbelievable numbers, but unfortunately it is for the L. So Minnesota Rocker coming with something different. We talked about it, 3-0 Carolina. That may have been what they needed to kind of trust the process, so to speak. And now another 3-0 here has their sights very well aimed towards potentially an upper bracket, pending they can win their final matchup.
And now it gets a little bit scary, Alan, because you keep in mind the teams that we have in what, 7, 8, 9? LAG, Minnesota, and Boston. They're all sitting currently at 2 and 4. They all have one match left, and there's only 2 spots left for winners bracket. So one of these squads are going to definitely be heartbroken, and it potentially is going to be LG with that loss right there.
Very well could be. We're thinking 3 and 4 probably gets you into the upper bracket. Of course, it's not confirmed, but we've got the desk standing by with more breakdown analysis on our first match of the day.
Thank you so much, Shift and Study and Alley Cat. We were all wrong. It's not the first time.
Won't be the last.
But when it happens like this, I don't expect it to be a 3-0. What did the Rocker just do?
I mean, they saw us all pick against them. I was like, all right, watch this.
Nameless, a pretty close matchup, especially in the Search and Destroy.
Yep.
It was a great comeback from the Rocker. They lock it up in round 11. Then I think most impressively was that game 3, Control. They showed you that they can break, they can hold, they can do it all on that map.
Yeah, I mean, they had a pretty great series. I mean, to me, this was kind of unacceptable inside of LAG. So many mistakes, you know. It's going to be that point of the season where you should be pretty on point, at least in stage 1 in some of these situations. I'm going to rewind a little bit to that Search and Destroy. You're up 4-2, Chris, in a fantastic situation. Offensive round. Why are you sending 2 people all the way through underground to try to make a play on their side? You end up getting 2 pieces. By the way, Fame got first blood that round, so you lose that. And then in that round, right before the round 11, Linz is 1 off of a streak. Why is Diamondcod flying out in a 3 versus 1 when you know he's 1 off of a streak? So lapse in communication. And then we can go back to map number 1. It's a neck and neck game. Why are we pushing P2, potentially flipping ourselves out of Palace? So easily identifiable, but very glaring issues on the side of LAG throughout the series. And we haven't seen that up until this point. So lackluster performance out of them. And Minnesota, kudos to them for capitalizing on it. Everybody playing well, especially Awaken get going in that game 3. It's a good time.
Are you worried about LAG? It feels like they might be a bit of a coin toss every time they take the stage, Allie.
I've said it before, I really dislike inconsistent teams, and unfortunately, LAG kind of proved to be one today. Touching on what Ann said, map number 2, LAG had 7 first bloods. You've got to work on those conversion rates, guys, and this is a team that was trying to prove that they were traditionally good at respawn. Well, they keep that neck and neck game, and then they lose a full Palace Hill. So for LAG, they're just really struggling to close out these big leads that they're creating for themselves.
After this matchup, you're going to see Minnesota leapfrogging LAG in our top 8. Both teams sitting at 2 and 4 records. Minnesota, of course, having the head-to-head, and now a better map count record after that 3-0. Right now, though, we got to celebrate with the one and only Vivid. It's our monster winner spotlight. Vivid, you look good today, buddy. How did it feel?
Felt good. Our practice has been going good all week, so I was excited to get playing today.
Vivid, we actually saw you guys in player games a little bit before your match started. Are you all in an apartment right now?
Yeah, we are. Like, the facility is just like an apartment. We just all play from here. I think team's been doing it for the past couple of years, and this is what we're doing too.
Oh, nice.
Vivid, I want to ask you about Search and Destroy. So obviously it hasn't been your guys' strong suit so far in this game just yet, but you had yourself a hell of a performance. I mean, multiple rounds, you taking over, you guys giving up that first blood and still winning it. So talk to me about
That's crazy, bro. Look at the team apartment that they all play out of.
Yeah, I think we've just been
That's
making
dope.
sure mid-round adjustments and mid-game are always working, and we're not falling behind in the game. And then just taking S&E practice as serious as we can, because traditionally it's usually fake. So we're just trying to make it feel as real as possible.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, you're just taking over here on top.
Up next, though, ladies and gentlemen, up next, we have Optic versus Miami Heretics. And I can't fucking wait. I'm really sad that it won't let me fucking vote on my picks. It's kind of irritating the fuck out of me right now. But, you know, it is what it is. Let's go. Let's fucking go, Optic. How long do we got here? Let's go, boys. That's what we talking about. Kenny, I need you to be on point, motherfucker. Shotzi, I need you like a slippery snake, my guy. And we need to get this fucking Dubsky. Dashy needs to be on fucking point. And Pred, I mean, Pred's pretty much always on fucking point. Oh. Warzone 2? Not Warzone 2. World War 2. Or, no, Vanguard. Vanguard, my bad. He's so good. Kenny. Sell him. Glacier. This guy. Formal, let's go, boy. My God, they're so young. Formal fucking back then, bro. Like, I'm not trying to be an asshole, but he chunked up a little bit. Scumpy. Boston. Champions are born. Boston Breach. Challengers. Let's fucking go. I would love to be able to do a live watch party in the crowd at one of these events. Dude, it would be the shit. Scumpy and Pred. Jesus Christ. Fucking cat just fucked my shit up. I have it. I would love to see Scump come back and be a fucking coach. That's all I'm saying. God damn, he's popping off. Oh my God, Shotzi. Kenny. Hmm. Oh, Shotzi's 7-0 right now. Eight no. Nah. No, they're gonna get rotation. Oh, Shotzi got you. Outplayed, motherfucker. Outplayed. No, Heretics are in the lead. Hi, baby.
far. But before we go forward into the next control, we're just going to go back a little bit. Myself and Chance were actually talking about some of those S&D rounds, and it's kind of curious for me, Chance, realistically. We were talking about the wall bang spot, and that's probably how Optic ended up playing it.
Possibly, yeah. It was when Vico goes for the ninja defuse, like right before he hopped it. Kenny was trying to wall bang him in through P1, but I don't think he connected with anything because Vico hadn't quite gotten there. But that might have been a very small detail as to why Optic lost one of those rounds. But either way, the story is just Heretics have absolutely been on point. Now we go to Karachi, and it is a aggressive B hit straight off the rip. And for Optic, nobody is home. Dashi is the only player that can pick up the cross, and Dashi is dead. Everybody from Heretics, they've just found their new home.
That is not the start you wanted to see if you were an Optic fan. They are already into this point, looking for a Pred, trying to find one to Lucky. Meadows getting away with his life, trying to go over the wall. Dashi, that's a huge kill from him. The first tick is in, but Vico is now outnumbered, but not outgunned. Finds the first, not the second. Great recovery there from Optic.
Yeah, nice swarm indeed. Everybody getting right back into position, and I think that might be one of those sort of Dashi bailout moments where if he shoots a little less straight, maybe he doesn't win that kill, and maybe that B zone collapses, but all said and done, it is an extra tick over on that B zone, but right back to sort of that 50-50, that slow approach towards A. Eagle, just pick a corner, any corner. Good luck trying to survive. Optic have sworn the hill for all these kills.
Yeah, Lucky tries to play his life and get away here, and it looks like Miami has gone, all right, well, A didn't work, let's go B again and give it a second go. It wasn't cleared down as well, so that tick is already halfway done. I was just trying to hold it for his teammate, trying to make sure that nobody else can get through as they get that second tick just onto the board. Medals flying out the back, but it's a huge win. Will be traded by Optic themselves. That first tick still to go. Journey left alone here. Still has an opportunity, doesn't win the gunfight. Kenny to the rescue. Optic recovery again.
Yeah, Kenny on point with that one. Yeah, a 6-0 start from him. Maybe shades of what we saw in the first invasion, but that is a B zone that I think falls the majority of the time. Instead, it is Kenny setting up players for the kill, forces the team shots to come through. And for a round where Heretics actually still have a decent bit of pressure on the map, they are running out of time, 25 seconds. And by the looks of it, they're trying to figure out if they want to force B or not. They're coming this direction. Kenny is still the man to deal with, and Kenny is still the man they cannot stop.
Oh my goodness, Kenny on a nice streak, flawless and unstoppable. Miami Heretics are not expecting a monster in the form of this man here on the point. Should go down. No, he does. Okay. Medals will get him. A lucky turn, a lucky burn, and Miami Heretics have a chance.
And nobody else is home from Optic. Like, they're still trying to defend the A zone. B is going to falter. Kenny just put on a Herculean effort to protect this zone, and instead Miami gets it. And now this is a big question on Karachi. If you give up B first, is it possible on defense to hold A? By the looks of it, no. Heretics are going to jump on it instantly and potentially close that door. Last man to fall, and the round follows with it. Optic, I mean, Kenny just started off 10-0 and they lost the round.
Oh, I don't even know what we are watching. I thought before this could be a good game. Miami Heretics are not a team to take lightly. But everything we have seen so far, I know it's early in the control, but what a thrill ride every step of the way. Optic are going to be feeling a little bit sick about that.
I mean, it just felt like Optic were like almost out of position the entire round. I mean, they got just hard blind counted off the opening break, and they still like adjusted. They re-swarmed over towards B, like only one tick came through and they stopped it, and then they just never had pressure on that side of the map again. So Optic right now feeling some pain.
Well, let's see if they are feeling the pain in the comms with an Optic Texas. Listen in.
Stop cost, guys. Top castle, Meadows.
He's going fire, I think. Fire?
Lucky top castle.
He didn't touch.
Drop me cut.
I can't say not sure.
One was top castle.
That's last two.
Wait, what does useless? I'm in. You're in.
Yeah. Wait for Lucky. Journey.
I'm hitting at the left for you guys.
Where are we in?
One shot on point.
Give me your useless. That's two. Give me a second, I'll flood to you.
I'm hitting fast.
Okay, looking for two. Lucky and Vico, bro.
Still top.
Nice. Looking for Lucky.
Lucky's. I'm top now.
That's Lucky. I'm here. Give me a second.
You don't want to be.
Make sure you use the heavy. I'll be back alley. Let the back alley.
Back alley. The all right back alley. All right back alley.
Back alley. I'm holding back alley, bro. Back alley. One shot back alley out too. They needed. I'm trying to shot back alley. Back alley. Two more, Ken. Other guy's weak. He TK'd. Weak. Nickel. Back alley. Let's lucky. Let's go back alley. One shot. They're all back alley, bro. Good job. Nice. Make sure you stack that shit. Nice. Try to stack it again. Little bit. Rear across. You back alley. Good across. Nice. Let's fight. I'll look back alley. Watch your back alley. Literally a bullet. Get back alley. I'll look long. I got back alley. One there. Flood point.
Flooding.
Yeah. I got nade on one shot. I don't see anything.
I'm holding back alley. I have the help.
And Optic have come alive in the comms and come alive in the round. Massive effort from Shotzi there to get them down, and a few team kills from Miami Heretics put them on the back foot.
Yeah, there's been a lot of lining up in team kills this game from both sides, but Miami's certainly feeling the more painful end of that one in that moment. I gotta say, though, you know a team is focused when Shotzi just obliterates 3 people. Basically, nobody has any reaction. They are just all about their business, calling out the stacks, calling off the spawners. So if Optic weren't focused before this series started, they are locked in right now.
That's what they needed. They absolutely had to hit another gear. And if we've seen Optic before, once that gear gets hit, the game can change, and that's what we'll be looking for. Bodies, though, into this point. 3 straight in. A rocket on the ticks.
And I mean, what, Metals is the lone man sent up to the cutoffs, but now you know exactly what direction you need to look. It is a trade fest everywhere on the map, but that triple stack might have just put on the pressure. Is it good enough to get this early capture? Yes, it is, and that is going to be the most time you could possibly have on the clock to work with to go and capture B. Another completely on point opening break. I mean, every round of search and destroy, every round of control, and every hill, Miami's game plan is clear.
And they need this time, though. They've done a great job to get it through so far, but this is now going to be a mountain. Optic are set up into the point, and they will slay out for as long as they can.
Maybe good news from Optic at this moment as well. I think when they were on defense the first go around, they were still vaguely worried about A. That's just not an option anymore. They're going to put all the pressure in the world on this side of the map. Now they just got to win the gunfights. Journey getting caught on the cross as well. Lucky looking for the trades, but he gets traded himself. And Optic right now on defense doing just enough. But obviously Miami, they are keeping up the pressure. If they ever get this like extra kill and set up the spawn trap, that's where things could get dicey. And this is close to being that moment.
Shotzi has hit a flank. It's going to have to be an incredible flank, but doesn't need it. Metal's still going to be alive. Goes for the chow on the dashy. Not going to happen. There's a wipe, and Shotzi's now far ahead. But Journey has called this one as well. But Miami will have to fight their way back in. All that work, all those trades and blood spilled to get into that point. And they have to do it again.
Yeah, both of these teams keeping that pressure up, but obviously from Optic, they wanted to push up and getting different corners. That's not going to be the case. It's a little bit more scattered, and Pred, the timing is not going his way because Heretics, the pace is just too fast. Shotzi's flanking again, but for Heretics, they got 3 bodies in and around this zone, and you got players like Dashy spinning in circles. This is a tough spot for Texas.
Shotzi burns so much time, but Metals has found him. Back into the point now for them, but he's going to be outnumbered. Optic have the bodies here to break this. Metals just wants that first tick, stunned already. Teammate watching over, but has he got enough here for him? Pred flies into the point as Metals flies out, and they now know he's in there.
Oh, no one saw him lay down, though. They thought he was in the back corner, so Red gets away with one there, but at least for Miami, they trade him out, and you still have 2 players around the zone, but they're going to need to kill a bunch because Dashy was pinning the other 2 players from Heretics back. So it's a slow zone capture, but also keep in mind for Miami, it's not just the zone. It is 10-7 on lives. They can win this one in 2 ways.
The trades have to be good here for Optic. They absolutely have to be. Time ticking away. Miami need to get back into the point. Journey has to dive in and give up the position he had. Dashy to see his eyebrows. It's not going to be enough. He flies out of the point, gets the kill, but no good. Miami spawning out. Optic do just enough.
And Optic has to play this like a round of S&D. No one can afford to fall. The gunfights are going to come to you. Metal's the first one in. Kenny the first one to fall. Next man in line. Going to be players down low. Metals is just out here frying you, but still 6 seconds. You got to at least stop the clock. A couple trades going back and forth, and Metals closes the door. Heretics again fighting tooth and nail to get that offensive win, but they are successful, up 2-1, and now a round away from 3-0ing Optic Texas.
My goodness, break out the capes. There are heroes on both sides of this equation. Just godlike plays over and over again from both teams just to get into a point. It is outrageous how the odds are stacked against people and they still get away with it. The Miami Heretics now in the lead into this one. If they can hold a defense, they will do the impossible. Something nobody thought they could accomplish.
I think right now it's just like their pace that has been out of control, on top of the fact that the opening breaks have been on point this time. No, Optics maybe just a little bit better. Shotzi flies in and gets those first 2 entry kills, but capture on A. I don't see any trophies nearby, and the trophy wouldn't have had time to work. Metals is soaring at you. Optic just don't have time in this series to breathe and like group together. They've been scattered, but with 2 kills right there and that B floodgate wide open, maybe Optic, this pressure on B going to pay off long term. The first tick nearly through.
And this is what will tell. Was this a misstep for Miami? Did they commit too much towards A? Already the body's in there. That second tick for Optic is right on the horizon, but Metals to the rescue again! Oh my goodness! 23 and 13. He's putting his body on the line for this. Every time they need him, Miami Heretics have a medals.
I mean, look, sometimes he's soaring in and picking up 2 by himself. Sometimes he is the wrecking ball in the cleanup crew. Great tags on a couple players out of vehicle. Metals gets sent in for the kill, and he absolutely wipes you down. Number 24 on a 4 spree, 8 of which are objective kills. Metals ever present on the map, and again from Optic, they are like they're feeling the pressure. Literally no time to breathe. Miami are soaring. Maybe a 2-piece can open up just a little bit of pressure on the map. It's a 2-stack coming through. A tick and a half of progress near there, and Optic right now all about the objective.
There is still hope. 1 tick. That's all Optic need. It hasn't been a strong round for them, but they only need to do it 1 more time in 1:35. Miami Heretics have to hold them at bay for the rest of this.
Shotzi right now sort of wants that freedom, make this into his playground, and the question is, can Heretics be on point of keeping track of him? Right now, he's just in between everybody, playing with his food, but that's only for the first kill. He just ends up getting traded. His teammates get a couple more, so it's a 3v2 for a brief moment around the B zone, but it's not like it's easy. Very much in the mix right now is Optic, and it is all about the timing, and that is not going Kenny's way. Dumpster hop up a little bit too close. And with a minute left on the clock and only 11 lives to work with, Optic, again, staring down the barrel of a hot 3-0.
Kenny commits. They need this. 50 seconds for Optic. Just information gathered. Metal's still alive, still gunning, still running. Optic having to go. Dashy flies out the door. Down he falls to Lucky. Shotzi. They need you to be a hero 1 more time. Slips through the gap. Finds the first. Looks for the second, and it's not going to be enough. Equal will fool the rest of Optic now. Turning on the burners. They have to get in.
It's Kenny again with an AR just in the mix next to everybody. Cleanup kills coming through from Miami, and no more respawns remaining. 4 lives and a dream. Miami are going to get this done.
Here we go. 1 last chance, 1 last run. Kenny will find the first. Lucky will get the trade back onto it. Optic just have to get a body into this point. Jenny will get it 2 versus 2. Vehicle now looking, but Lucky will fall. The last player from Optic goes down, and it's a Vamos. Miami Heretics take down the unassailable. Optic Texas fall. And what a tale we have woven heading towards Boston.
And a fun celebration